So, Alex Pereira just finished Yuri Prochazka with a brutal head kick, and I thought this was the perfect time to make a video about why Alex Pereira is better than Israel Adesanya. And this is one of my favorite rivalries of all time because both of them are insanely skilled strikers. And I don't know about you all, but I love seeing two really skilled strikers just go at it. And these two are always going to get compared to each other due to their long-lasting rivalry since their kickboxing days. And I just want to get right into it by speaking about accomplishments. So after Pereira beat Yuri, I think most people think that Pereira is the more accomplished fighter in MMA. Pereira was middleweight champion, lost the belt, then moved up a weight class and claimed the belt there. And this was simply something that Adesanya wasn't able to do. He moved up and fought John and got folded. However, wins also need to be counted into the accomplishment category, and Adesanya does have some really good wins. His best wins are probably the Whitaker wins and the Pereira win, and some other good wins he has are Costa, Vettori, and Cannonier. However, those wins didn't really age that well. We learned that Costa isn't that great, Vettori is pretty mediocre, and Cannonier pretty much only has power. However, to be fair, the Whitaker wins are really good. Whitaker is one of the best middleweights of all time, but it is debatable if Adesanya really won that rematch against Whitaker, but when I watched it, I thought he did. But I can totally understand people who thought Whitaker won. The Pereira win is also really good. However, it is worth noting that Pereira at middleweight is quite different from the Pereira at light heavyweight. The guy got slept and rocked by Adesanya at middleweight, who isn't really known to have a lot of power. But at light heavyweight, he is able to take clean shots from Yuri, who basically hurts everyone he's able to catch clean. My point is that at middleweight, Pereira is severely weight drained, and that does affect his performance. Pereira is still a beast at middleweight though, so it is still a really good win that has aged very well, but that just wasn't Pereira at his best. Pereira also has some really solid wins. His best wins are Strickland, Adesanya, and pretty much all of his wins at light heavyweight. The Strickland win has of course aged very well. The guy later went on to beat Adesanya and become champion. The Adesanya win is also a really solid win. Adesanya is one of, if not the best middleweight of all time. And at light heavyweight, he of course beat Blachowicz, slumped Yuri, slumped Jamal Hill, and slumped Yuri again. And those are some really solid wins. I would say that he has a better resume than Adesanya, because all of those guys that Pereira beat at light heavyweight were former champions that had lost the belt very recently. And if you want to include their kickboxing achievements, Pereira has clearly accomplished more with 2 glory belts to his name. I also want to address their fights with each other. A lot of people say it's 3-1 Pereira, however in reality it should really be 2-2. The first fight in kickboxing was very clearly a robbery. Adesanya should have won that. In their second kickboxing fight, however, Adesanya was actually winning pretty clearly until he got slept by Pereira, and in the first MMA fight Adesanya was also winning until he got slept by Pereira. But in their second MMA fight, Pereira was actually winning until Adesanya slept him. And some people who look at all their fights might think that Adesanya is clearly the more skilled striker. However, they would actually be wrong. Their kickboxing fights took place late in Adesanya's kickboxing career and early in Pereira's kickboxing career, before he went on to become a goated kickboxer. And in their first fight in MMA, Pereira was actually outlanding Adesanya for the most part on the feet. The reason for Adesanya winning the majority of that fight was because he wrestled and clinched a lot against Pereira. And all that clinching, grappling, and the weight cut made Pereira gas. And in the second fight, Pereira was clearly outlanding Adesanya until Adesanya hit him with that beautiful counter. So going off that, I would say Pereira is the better striker. However, you could argue that Adesanya is the more skilled fighter overall, since he was able to shut down Pereira with his grappling. But I don't even know if you can argue that anymore because Pereira has become a lot better since the Adesanya fights. So the only question left right now is who would win if Pereira and Adesanya fought today. And this fight will most likely take place at light heavyweight, considering it is not that common for a champion to move down in weight, and Pereira's body has also become very accustomed to fighting at light heavyweight. So I think it would be a lot harder for him to cut down to middleweight at this point. And at light heavyweight, quite frankly, I think Alex Pereira smokes Adesanya. I think he would outstrike him on the feet, and Pereira at light heavyweight seems to be a lot more powerful than he was at middleweight. And he has also had a lot of time to improve his grappling since the Adesanya fight. So I don't see Adesanya being able to use his grappling the same way he did in their first fight in MMA. And Adesanya does have some really good counters. He was able to put Pereira away in their last fight. However, Pereira's chin is better at light heavyweight. He was able to take clean shots from someone like Yuri Prochazka, who basically hurts anyone he catches clean. So in my opinion, Pereira would win. However, we can't really know until they actually fight one more time. time. And this factor isn't as significant in my opinion, but Pereira is a lot more entertaining to watch than Adesanya. I mean, take a look at Adesanya's title wins. The guy just stands out of range and leg kicks for most of his fights. When have we ever seen Alex Pereira do something like that? Alex Pereira is always looking for finishes. He almost always finishes opponents. 5 out of his 5 title fights has ended in a finish, and you simply cannot call Alex Pereira's fighting style boring. The guy is literally Thanos at light heavyweight. So, in conclusion, Pereira is the more accomplished fighter, Pereira has better wins, Pereira is a better striker, and Pereira would smoke Adesanya if they fought again at light heavyweight. Anyways, these two are great fighters, and hopefully we can see them have one final fight in the future. But I think that's enough yapping for today, guys. Thanks for watching, leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you agree with me or if I'm just another Poitin glazer. And also don't forget to send this to someone who's an Adesanya fan. I'll see you all in the next one, goodbye.